Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Suppose, yes.
Full eclipse occurs, and you see that, first of all, you can't see one another, and what you see instead are figures made out of starlight, and they look like moving constellations. You can hear the maiden's voice in your head. Now, your wish, your prayers are trapped within these celestial bodies. As your final test, you must take your wish from them. Do this, and you will achieve the next step towards reaching heaven.
Dessa reaches out to try and touch the constellation being.
The constellation being slaps your hand away.
How do I collect my reward?
They will resist you. Simply use force.
Can she bring out her stand?
Yes, the rest of you see one of the constellations bring out a great glowing light form from its body, like it's manifesting it.
She's gonna go for like a grab at it.
Vicky, one of the constellations has tried to grab you.
Absolutely no.
What are you gonna do?
No, she just tries to like full on tentacle like grab it and use her stand to try to pull out whatever reward she's supposed to get.
You can't quite make it past the grab. It was really quick. This constellation being is very precise, and it manages to get past your tentacles. You take 2 physical stress. So right now, Odessa, you are grappling with one of those constellation beings. They tried to resist. They have their own light form that they pulled out, like almost like a shadow of themselves. But you have the upper hand right now. Vincent, you see constellations kind of grappling with one another, but you can't see your friends. This could be your shot. If what you've been promised is true, if you're able to pull out something to do as the goddess requests, then you will get your reward of the end of the Seven Nation Army. These are very strange circumstances, of course, and any logical person would probably think that this is insane. So that's an option as well. But you also find yourself in a very kind of religious experience almost at this point here. You can feel like your dream is close, ending the tyranny of the Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, he'll punch a Starman to get that. He's gonna try and split one of them, just to see what happens.
Gabriella, you get hit. Well, you know what? Give me a power roll. You can roll against it. Jesus Christ, Gabriella, you have to defend against a 7. Oof. Yeah, not only do you get split, you take 5 physical stress, which is a lot. It's just a straight up punch. So you take a mild consequence right now.
What is the word I'm looking for here? Like, you've just become 2 people, so disoriented.
So there's a good you and an evil you. And now the good you, Vicky, you'd feel this too. You know this is wrong. What's happening is wrong. And now, Gabrielle, you can see clearly it's very wrong.
Can I say that by now Odessa's trying to like wrestle hers to the ground?
Vicky, you're being wrestled to the ground by one of the constellations. It feels familiar. You can't quite say why, but this constellation does have you wrestled. You a tussling.
Yeah, she's screaming and her tentacles are flailing about.
Odessa, you just hear the constellation kind of making almost violin type noises, and its head flare up with light. And it's almost like it's trying to talk to you, but it's just making very strange strains of sound.
That's pretty weird, so she hesitates when she sees that. What are you trying to say? What? She said to get what I want, but she tries to get off it. Well, you know, it was her stand on it to begin with, so.
What does Odessa's stand look like?
I sort of picture an origami man.
Origami person is climbing off of Vicky. Well, star-shaped origami person?
Yeah, some kind of weird angular constellation person. Light form.
Yeah, does Odessa see tentacles?
Sort of. Tendrils.
That also gives her pause.
3 of you now know something's, well, 4 of you know something's wrong. Vincent, you have pretty thoroughly devastated this constellation that you're fighting.
Okay.
You are very close to reaching that star, that that part of the constellation, that light. You can see you've damaged its exterior, and you just need to crack it a little bit more to get in.
All right, I guess I'll start punching.
Okay, Gabriella, you have to roll against a 3.
Ooh.
You meet it. You take the hit, but you manage to block it, sort of. So you meet that power with your speed. This
Yeah.
thing has really seriously injured you.
After this, she's probably going to fire off a shot.
Ooh.
Okay, Vince, you gotta beat a 5.
Nope.
You take 3 physical stress from being shot. You see the Constellation pull a star-shaped gun out and fire like a comet through you. So you are on the brink. You feel like this Constellation will pull something out of you if you aren't up to the task.
Starship crows probably start flying out.
Yeah, they just make violin sounds when they come out. Vincent, crows are flying out of your body. Hack fraud! Hack fraud! Hack fraud! Wah! So nobody else hears that. Honestly, everyone else just sees one of the constellations hit the other with a star-shaped gun, and then a bunch of birds flying out of what looked like bird constellations flying out of it. But Vincent, there's only one person you know that could do that.
Wait, what?
Odessa starts shouting, "Hey, does anyone hear me?"
Again, you would just hear violin sounds.
The tentacled beast just got shouted at in violin noises and tries to make a retreat into the darkness. She's just running away. She doesn't like this. She's trying to sneak off, but she's also a glowing set of stars, so
Gabriella, you feel something happening to you. You aren't sure what this is, but you can see your evil self. You can see one of the constellations has punched through her back and stolen something out of her, out of evil Gabriella. You can feel something draining away from you because your evil self and your good self are both connected to your stand. So when this happens, you lose your singing voice. You can feel like your own voice, your voice becomes amelodic. It doesn't have that quality anymore.
Oh boy.
That shape, that constellation, takes whatever it is she stole out of Evil Vicky, just falls over lifeless. And that constellation that seems to have killed her, that star that was stolen, begins to travel through its hand and go into its body. Your stand no longer has the ability to make doors. You see that constellation stealing from your stand, taking your power. You see it flex its hands once and then kind of roll its fingers as the constellation within itself, the shape of the stars begins to shift around. One of the creatures, you keep creatures on you that you've made with your stand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them just says, "Trouble, trouble, trouble."
She'll probably just quickly fire off a shot again at the constellation she was fired at earlier, just absolutely confused while trying to back away.
You shoot it. You see the constellation get winged by your bullet, and then it turns towards you and begins to approach, fists drawn and clenched. Gotta beat a 3.
I'll actually go ahead and invoke followed by crows. Crows start kind of flocking around her, going caw, caw.
Yeah, they can just like scatter, just fuck up his aim real bad. He has to shield himself away from the crows that are kind of swarming him. The constellation steps away, covering its face. You all have a moment here. It seems like something's happening. Some of these constellations are more aggressive than others. Vicky, you're gonna try to run, you said, or try to get out of there?
yeah, she doesn't know what's going on, and this feels wrong.
You can only get so far before that tugging on your neck begins again, and it's like you're on a leash.
Yeah.
An invisible one, but a leash. So you guys can all see this constellation trying to run and then just get yanked back.
Oh, so we can see all the constellations?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that Vicky's constellation is just like struggling against an invisible line. Like she probably hit the edge, had a full like a dog that can't get any farther, jerks by her neck, and then like grabs onto like her neck and tries to pull away but can't.
Odessa's just staring at that, feeling away.
That constellation that you shot, Gabriella sees this other constellation trying to struggle and starts walking towards it to attack it.
She'll blink look over, and then where was the one she shot earlier before this guy?
That would have been Vincent. So Vincent, what are you doing now? Seeing all this chaos.
He isn't sure what to do, but he did just see one of the constellations kill another one, so maybe he'll attack that one?
It looks like it's on its way to do kill another one.
Can I clash with it?
Yes.
Oof.
You win. You're able to break its arm with your clash. Like those strikes, you managed to make the precision blows necessary. It stumbles away and clutches at its shattered arm. It has, just like, even more so than the figure you struck earlier, this one is very vulnerable now, and it seems to have a massive collected light. You would need to press a little bit harder to get to it.
Since they're like terrorists and they have to do sneaking, it wouldn't be too crazy to assume that they would have like some limited signage to communicate in silence.
Sure.
Odessa's gonna gesture, halt, pause, everyone gather, situation report, just to see if they respond.
Okay, you guys see those signs. You know that as a group, sometimes you can't talk. This is how you communicate. Is it real, or are you being manipulated?
Yeah, good question.
Vicky would just over and over and over again say the halt symbol.
Odessa's gonna see that and like swallow nervously. Because that's like, alright, that's one confirmation that was probably Vicky, because there were tentacles.
Yeah, she has a very unique silhouette.
She's gonna look over in the direction of Gabriella? Maybe Gabriella, question mark?
Yeah, she's probably going status and then hurt.
Oh.
Vincent, you're seeing these constellations all signing at one another. These are signs that you recognize.
Vincent signs back status.
Odessa's gonna try to light a cigarette because she's just super nervous and scared now. But she's gonna sign back frantically, need direction, don't know what's going on.
Vicky keeps signing retreat, retreat, retreat now.
That stand earlier, constellation you struck, Vincent, you can see that the light form that it summoned begins to grow a single horn out of the left side of its head.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And it stands up. You can see it grabs its own arm and begins to set it back as best as it can. It doesn't seem to be responding to the signal commands.
I think Vincent would attack it. Maybe these other ones are his friends or tricking him, but this one seems outwardly hostile, so.
Wow, what a 7. It seems to do something that sparks within itself for a moment, and it actually, when you go in for that stand attack, you can see that its light form catches hold of your fist as you're coming in and then clenches its fingers down into your knuckles, doing something. But what happens is you feel suddenly very hot.
Odessa's gonna gesture to follow the leader, and she's gonna try to attack it also. I'm also gonna invoke her I have nothing to lose.
So you have 5 to that roll. You strike him. The constellation's jaw hangs a little badly after that hit, but it lets go of Vincent. Whatever it was about to do to you, Vincent, that heat disperses and you can feel it leaving your body.
Odessa's gonna gesture friendly, halt fire.
The figure that you just struck seems to pause, seeing those signals, and then clutch its head and then drop to its knees.
As soon as it does, Gabriella will go over and try to hug him.
The moment you try to touch it, it freaks out and actually strikes you.
She'll still push onward.
Are you gonna try to evade that hit, or you just gonna take it?
Her goal here really is just a hug, so she'll take it.
Oh boy. You take a moderate consequence if you just take the hit. It's likely from this, I would say, shattered ribs.
Odessa's just nervously chewing on her cigarette now. Just smoking it isn't enough.
So, Vincent, now you see some of the constellations are fighting and hugging each other. One of them's freaking out. Another one's trying to lead. They're all freaking out. Group leader, hand signals. Is there any signal that you think you can give to like improve this situation?
How about group up?
Odessa's gonna respond to that and, like cautiously just walk up in his vicinity. Gesturing friendly, of course.
Gabriella, what will you do when you see the motion to gather?
She'll motion back specifically to the one she's hugging. What she said back at the prison. It'll be all right.
Okay, symbol. I'll say the constellation that you're currently clutching, Gabriella will get up and try to make its way with you towards the point of grouping up.
Okay.
It's very injured. It seems to be not limping, but definitely in pain. And you're in a lot of pain.
Oh yeah.
Like your ribs are shattered. You seem to have like had something just straight up jacked from your soul, whatever that was.